Hello, rugby fans. How we doing?
Doing pretty good, Nico.
Good to see you here on the mic again, as always.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Gray.
I'm Nico.
And we're here live at the Des Moines Rugby Clubhouse for a Heart of America Conference Championship. We have the champions of the North, the Iowa State Cyclones, and also the University of Iowa, who was the number 2 in the North. Really great matchup. Cyhawk 2.0, they played earlier this season with Iowa State winning the first matchup on September 6th. That was 45-19. Nico, what is going to be the story today in this rainy weather? You know, it's about 50-ish degrees, slight breeze. We're going to have rain on and off. The field is messy. It is muddy. Talk to me. What is going to be the story today?
Yeah, well, you know, with this weather, which is absolutely beautiful out here, rugby weather, it does take a little bit of those skills and brings it into like having to really play rugby. A lot of what we're going to see today is on the heart and on the sleeve. You know, on the field, they're going to be trying as hard as they can to get over that line. It's going to take that dog.
Yeah, and I think, you can throw that old score out. These teams have been fighting all year. Both teams improving. We have different looks in the lineups, guys in different spots. Injuries have affected every rugby club. And also, too, the travel. We're in Des Moines. It's close for both clubs, closer for Iowa State. But also in this match, how we got here. Last week, we had Iowa go down to Westwick Park down in Kansas, and they defeated Kansas State University, who was the champion of the South, 52-14. That was also in rainy conditions. So very similar field conditions. They came out, they grinded it out, they got it done in the wet, in the mud, and they are rolling. Things are clicking. On the other side, Iowa State was on this field. They played against the University of Kansas, a team they are very familiar with. They get the win 37-12, but again, sloppy conditions, not as sloppy as the Iowa match, but still, they got it done. A few miscues that Coach Ant Frein is looking to fix for today, but definitely these boys are hungry and ready to go. You talked to both coaches before the match throughout the week. Talk to me, University of Iowa, Tyler Daly, what is he looking for from his club?
Yeah, honestly, Iowa last year had a really good forward pack. That's where a lot of their skill was. And this year, they've got a lot of younger guys coming in. That back line is stellar. So look to see them open up their play a little bit. I know the conditions are wet, but with the miscues on maybe tackling, you might see those guys break the line and score from deep. So that's what Ant has kind of talked about, trying to mitigate, trying to keep the errors small and not allowing those small errors to tumble into big errors.
Definitely. And when you look at this Iowa State team, you have the backline player of the year, Ian Klein, starting at number 15. He's the vice captain for Iowa State. Then at number 5, Alec Geiser. He is the two-time player of the year for the Heart of America Conference. So look for him, and he's the captain for Iowa State today. Look for him to be a leader in the pack. Ian Klein is that leader in the back line. They're getting the boys going. We're watching them right now. They're inside the 22, running through some phases here. Look for them to go through those guys. Every phase, you're going to be seeing Iowa State. They want to run that ball. They have guys in the pack who can run like centers. You have guys in the back line who make tackles like packies. Look for them to play a very balanced, hard game with some hard crash. What else do you got from Iowa?
Honestly, they've got, like I said, some of those young guys in the back line. Really look out for the Wren. I think he's playing 15 today. We'll have to double check on that. Guy is a game breaker, a dog. Quite a few dogs out there. It's going to be fun to see.
A really fun game. And again, with it being at the Des Moines Clubhouse, Iowa State, the hill is filling up with fans. Thank you for joining us here. We do have the YouTube stream up. So if you have any comments or questions or anything, throw it in the chat. We will try to answer that as best we can while we're going here. Also, with that being said, give a shout out to our referee crew that is in charge here. We got Adam Falk in the center. Jeff McHenry is one of our ARs. Andrew Ridgway is the other AR. And then we have Addison Spear and Julian Hall are going to be our referee number 4. So we're going to have 2 number 4s managing both technical zones. It's awesome to have this many people watching this game, helping out with this game. It's going to be a beautiful day of rugby. And also, like you said, it's November, right? It's November in Iowa, and it's still 50 degrees. We got people in light jackets here. Really awesome day. Really excited about this. What are you looking forward to most today?
Honestly, I'm just super excited that both Iowa and Iowa State have made this final. You know, it's kind of a home court feel being here in Des Moines. I'm just excited to see who brings this rivalry to the next step. It's always been a storied rivalry. Going back and forth, I'm not sure what the all-time record is, but we've got Jim Lloyd and Malcolm who really set our teams into a good spot for years to come. Now we've got the new coaches have taken over, Ant and Tyler. It's going to be fun to see what adjustments are made on the fly today. And again, we're just going to keep referring to it because we need it. Who's got that dog in them to finish this fight?
Definitely. And now you can see the field conditions. Like we said, the fans are loading up here on the hill. We've got Iowa in the black. We've got Iowa State in the red. We are about 6 minutes away from kickoff. Again, this stream is brought to you by the B-Side Boys. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We have new episodes every single Wednesday where we do interviews with people from all over. We look for high school, college, senior side, select side, international, professional, people who are making a difference in the game. This last episode, we had Coach Ant Frine from Iowa State talking about this preview. We had Nick Marker from the University of Northern Iowa, one of their senior players who is competing today for UNI. UNI is actually playing in the NCR D2 Great Midwest Championship today in Wisconsin at Cottage Grove against Loyola. UNI is the heavy favorite. Then our third guest on the podcast this last week was Lily Stowe from Waverly Shellrock. She just won a state championship at Waverly. She was also invited to Chula Vista for the U18 Sevens High Performance Camp. So really awesome stuff. You want to go back, check that out. Again, B-Side Boys, a rugby podcast. Also today is brought to you by BBP Apparel, BBP Sport. You need your rugby gear. You see those uniforms. BBP is, outfitting everybody from Des Moines to the Wombats, Lincoln Rugby, Iowa State. All sorts of clubs are getting involved with BBP. Give them a call if you need something new. Like I said, we're going to start here in 5 minutes. Nico, anything else before we get going, or we're going to take a short break, and then we'll get back to you at kickoff?
Yeah, all good. Ready to go.
All right. We will see you in about 5 minutes, everybody. All right, the teams are taking the field here again. University of Iowa in black, Iowa State in red, getting ready for that kickoff. This stream is brought to you by the B-Side Boys and BBP Sport. And there's the kick.
There we go, kicking it deep to start. Like we said, a lot of field position.
So Nico's going to be a little more of your color commentator.
We'll see.
We'll see, he says. All right, so we're going to start with a line out.
I actually got to work with these Iowa Hawkeyes. Let's see if they still are running what I helped install.
Yeah, so Iowa State kicks it, goes into touch. Iowa's going to start off with a line out.
There we go, little sloppy play to begin. Looks like Iowa did retain ball. We'll see what they do to get this ball out.
Kick goes right into the hands of an Iowa State player, and they're looking for that counterattack. Good
Great
open field tackle.
Great tackle.
That will slow down the counterattack quicker than anything. Hard running by Iowa State, trying to find their groove here in the middle of the field.
Look for them to really set that tone with the physicality. Iowa's hoping to match that physicality as the game wears on.
Again, you see that offload there by
with a nice kick. Looks like we got a guy back here for it, though.
Ooh, what a
Great
hit there.
Great coverage there by Iowa State. Let's see who wins this ball in the ruck. Iowa still got it here. They're going to go ahead and boot down the field.
Ooh,
charge down. Straight out of bounds, though. Should be an Iowa line out on about the 22.
Both teams trying to find their footing here. You know, nothing too crazy with when Iowa State had ball in hand, just running some crash balls, getting it into a few different hands there. Iowa doing a good job matching, making those tackles. And then just the kicks, looking for that territory. You know it's going to be messy. There's going to be some mishandled kicks today because of this rain, this wet ball. So going early, trying to find that territory. Whistle was blown. Yes, not straight.
Not straight on the line out. It did look good, but we've got Adam on the call here today. He's going to make sure that both of these teams are working hard to keep this game clean.
So again, thank you for joining us here. We're in Des Moines. It is a little rainy, slight breeze, 50 degrees. We have a scrum for Iowa State right inside the 22. They're about probably, what do you think, 18, 17 meters away from the try line?
Yep. Sounds about right. Their back line is set up pretty, look like they're going to do some daggers here. See what they got.
It's very quiet right now. I feel like everybody here wants to hear what Adam Falk is saying.
Feel the pressure of this early game, trying to figure each other out. Who's going to break first?
Adam must have seen something, our center referee on this side with the binds or something, because he's on that side watching the put.
We go watch that wing coming around up for Iowa State.
Not the cleanest ball.
There's that dagger I was talking about. With that center coming in.
Like we said, it's going to get messy.
Here we go. Iowa trying to find that extra land. Great kick. Just out of bounds here. Iowa has good coverage. No quick throw in by Iowa State. Oh, instead they still went ahead and got it off. And now they're right back down the field with a kick. We'll see what that coverage looks like. This could play into Iowa's hand. Looks like they have a number. Great tackle there by the number 13.
So just some sloppy play here. I think both teams kind of see like some moments, but a little hesitation from both clubs. You know, Iowa State inside the 22, and the mishandling by the back line leads to a big kick by Iowa.
And Iowa able to handle the pressure, and looks like they're starting well, even though Iowa State is really, really physical in those rucks and tackles.
And that prop was alone from Iowa, but they did a good job to help. So we do have a high tackle here on Iowa State. Penalty to Iowa. They're right about the 50.
Yep, and dead center of the field, we'll see what they do. It looks like they're going to try to kick for the sideline here. Hopefully they can make that all the way there. With this rain, it may change things. Great kick.
Wow. And that was, we talked about Ian Klein from Iowa State. Number 15 there was looking right at the sideline for that ball. All right, we're getting ready for that next line out. Again, if you have any questions or anything in the chat, throw it in there, and we will do our best to answer and try to make sure we know what's going on here. So again, 0-0, about 5 minutes down in this Heart of America Championship.
We'll see here. This is Iowa's first opportunity to really put some pressure on Iowa State. See if they can't make some mistakes in their own 22. Another great line out gets brought into contact by Iowa.
Looked like he was a little nervous to get that ball out, so he's like, you know what, I'll just eat it. We'll slow down. We'll settle it.
And that, again, could just be the pressures of the game. That's big jitters to start the game, or
wet ball.
The wet ball, yep.
Mm-hmm. So you can see that pack and back line setting up here. We are on the far side, so I'm going to try to zoom in here. It might get a little messy.
What we didn't talk about in pregame is that Iowa State has kind of been here in this situation. They've been to the national championship here the last few years. Iowa just starting to return to this conference finals. The last time that they were able to be here was in 2020 when they could have gone to nationals for both 15s and 7s. And of course, COVID kind of changed that and we lost those opportunities. But it's exciting to see, and we'll see if that experience for Iowa State pays off here.
And again, we're zoomed in. Iowa State has their heels on the try line, but they have the ball. So we're about 120 meters, 130 meters away from the action. But you see the pack for Iowa State really working here. And then to clear the kick.
Looks like didn't get very good distance, but good height.
Oh,
that looks like Iowa ball. Oh, yep, that ball's loose.
Tough to lose that ball there for Iowa State.
Trying to settle it out, and it does look like we have another penalty here. Iowa ball on the 22. Quick tap. Here we go. See what the boys got.
Ooh, through the hands.
Straight through. And it looks like another turnover here, so Iowa State's got the ball deep in their own territory. Looks like we got a knock on here. Again, the conditions are a little wet. Nerves are probably still starting this game out.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a scrum to Iowa State.
And it feels like, too, we haven't seen either of these backlines really get a true opportunity to open up just because of poor handling, how many times, I think that's 3 now, we've seen a pass go from either a scrum half or fly half to a backline player and go straight through their hands. Mm-hmm. They have everything set up that they want. I'm wondering which team is going to try to maybe slow it down and just work solely through the pack, maybe insert those centers into some more tight pods just to maintain ball.
And we'll see if that leadership that Alex brings to Iowa State will kind of bring that into the game.
Yeah, like we said, these backlines are so talented, but in these conditions, what adjustments will they make? So it looks like we're moving the scrum here, maybe because of the footing. Not great.
Not great.
This is where, Des Moines' D2 team played all season, and then Iowa State played their playoff match here. So this field has had a whole season of matches, and it's been pretty rainy the last couple of weeks. So
at least it's green again. We do appreciate that, Mother Nature.
I never want to be tackled onto the hard, dry ground.
We've got a penalty here to Iowa State. I'm not sure what the 9 for Iowa was doing. It looked a little funky even from back here, but we'll see here. Good clearance ball to the sideline, and we're going to have another line out here to Iowa State.
Again, thank you for joining us, everybody. This is brought to you by the B-Side Boys, a rugby podcast. Check out our new episodes every Wednesday on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We've got Nico Felice here, and I'm Mr. Gray. Here comes the line out. Nice.
Oh.
But not straight.
Not straight again.
I like the movement they had setting up that line out. Just wasn't straight.
Yep. And again, Adam's going to make sure that this game stays as clean as possible, even in these conditions. We've got a lot of pressure here from Iowa here the last 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to see if they can't capitalize on that, or does Iowa State get it back down the field into this side of the field?
Yeah, based off these first 10 minutes here, it's a sloppy game. Who is going to break through? Because right now we're just kind of hanging out near the 50. Ooh, good drive here by Iowa.
Short side, decides to go back to the far. Ooh,
switch
nice
back
switch.
in. But look at Iowa State.
Iowa State right onto that ruck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we've got a penalty to Iowa.
Offside.
They are real quick to that. And I can hear Alex Geisert over there mustering his guys back to that line.
Because that should have been a jackal right there. That was
Iowa.
Iowa.
Easily looked like a turnover. Minor mistake that could change the game here. Again, these teams look very even to start this game.
Yeah, you hit that switch back inside towards the teeth of that Iowa State pack. That's a really risky call because his support was not with him. He had to kind of run to that support, and that's where Alex Geiser would have had a clean poach, clean jackal, whatever you call it, wherever you're from. But, yeah, the offsides call. Ooh, this ball, what do you think? Where are we at here? About 10 meters away from the try line. They're wiping the ball off to get a good dry throw. We haven't had it.
We'll see if we don't get a little trickery here. It's been a pretty physical, straight up and down game other than that last switch that you've seen.
Yep.
Looks like we're looking at a maul here.
It's not really moving too much, but that ball gets out.
Oh,
they do it again.
Switch and he's breaking line. Is he in? We've got a try
and that's
for
a
Iowa.
try. Wow. So I know I was just saying, really risky, but right there, that's why they're running that switch back inside towards the teeth of the pack. And you see the Iowa State player, he gets too far committed, turns his hips. And when he turned his hips, he fell, slipped on the grass, opened up a clean line. Great way to stick with it, Iowa. Way to stick with it, cut right through, and they are on the board first. And with this weather, and the rain might pick up, the wind might pick up, really crucial to have this from about straight on. You need, every kick's going to matter.
And it might be the difference here, because like you said, we might get a little bit more rain here as the game goes on.
I can feel the wind picking up right now.
As we're talking, it does look like that was converted. So we got Iowa going up 7-0 to start the game. Again, we're really working on that field position, those keys to the game, physicality, matching Iowa State's. And right now, it looks like Iowa is starting to hum.
Yeah, they're sticking with it. As I was saying, you're 10 minutes in, we're kind of fighting around midfield. Do you adjust from your game plan? And Iowa didn't. They tried that little switch, didn't work. They do it. They go right back to it.
Right back to it.
A minute, 30 seconds later, and here we go. And, Nico, I'm glad to have you on the stream too because you have ties to the University of Iowa. You played there to end your college career. What does this game mean as an alumni for you?
I mean, I've been an Iowa fan my whole life, and while I do always root for Iowa over all the other teams, I'm still a big fan of all the other state teams. Everything in the state of Iowa, especially as far as college goes, has been on the up and up. We've got Iowa and Iowa State here playing for a championship. UNI is also playing for a championship today. Iowa Central Community College has been putting their name on the whole nation here. It's just electric to see everything going forward.
Mm-hmm. Every men's team is competing at a national level. Winner of this game goes to the CRAA national tournament. Iowa State, they've been there multiple times the last few years. They've won the sevens national title. They finished second in 15s the last 2 years. Iowa wants their chance to go to that tournament. Good line out here by Iowa. But yeah, like you said, University of Northern Iowa is up in Cottage Grove. Huge run by Geisert.
There he is, implementing his will on this Iowa defense.
That's that tone we were looking for there.
Yep, and here we go, starting to see a little bit of breakage. Iowa is trying to play that bend, don't break defense. We've got a line break here from Iowa State, crossing the 50, and a perfect jackal here by Iowa to win that ball. But Adam, the sir, is bringing it back.
But yeah, that's like we were saying. So UNI is playing against Loyola up in Cottage Grove for the Great Midwest D2 Conference Championship for another shot at Nationals. They're already going to go to Nationals, but this would just secure a better seed. And then the University of Northern Iowa women are going to play next Friday against Colorado.
And that ball did not make it to the sideline here. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good because this is
Iowa. What are they going to do?
Huge counterattack here.
Using that field position. Got a little bit of wind behind him. That ball lands in the grass. Good find. And Iowa State straight out on the full. Was he in the 22 or out? I can't tell from here. We might be bringing that ball all the way back to where they kicked it.
Yeah, you can see Adam. He's down here. Yeah, next Friday, University of Northern Iowa women play at 2 o'clock down in Kansas against Colorado in the Elite Eight of the Women's NCR National Tournament. Yeah, everybody in Iowa, this is a huge time for collegiate rugby in Iowa, and to have two historic programs. And again, these two teams, Iowa State and Iowa men's programs, they played each other on September 6th. Iowa State won 45-19, but when talking to Ant Frein, he said that score was not, indicative of the story. It was much closer than that score line says. And, Iowa's up 7-0 in a sloppy, wet match.
And this game could go either way. In that first matchup, too, those B-side, they ended up tied. So depth is there. Yeah. And when you come towards the end of a year, that's what you're really looking for, because you have those injuries. Mm-hmm. You have those people that get hurt, and those younger guys that are coming in, they are pretty evenly matched even earlier in the year. So we're going to see if that changes things here. We've got an Iowa State penalty, kicks it straight out. And another line out for Iowa State.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying too, B-sides, they're so important. They tied 28-28.
Like the B-side boys?
I mean, that's intentional, man. That's how you build a program. Having that depth, especially throughout the year, is going to be huge. And both these teams play B-side matches every single week to season these guys, get them the experience. So then that way, when they are in this moment, when their number's called, they're ready to go. They can put in those big minutes for their club. So here comes the line out. Hard to see with the post there, but here it comes.
And Iowa State's won it. Another maul here. See what they can do. And that's another thing that we've talked about before. How important is that depth? That's what made us good when we did that national championship run with Bremer. Mm-hmm. Any team that I've been on has needed that depth.
Yes.
You need those solid guys to continue to bring your team up, even when people are injured.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you look at the Midwest Championships right now in the senior division. D3 today, they're playing right now South Pitt Hooligans against Red River. South Pitt has a D4 team, and they even talked about how they've lost some guys in their front row, and their D4 guys were able to bump up and play on that D3 side. Like you said, when we were with the Bremer County Bucks back in 2017, we had close to 45 guys sipped. 28 guys were on that roster to go to Nationals, and the roster we had from week 1 to week Nationals, 6 months later, completely, changed.
I wasn't even on the roster to begin the season. I actually was still playing with Iowa.
Right.
It's once my season completed there, we were able to transfer over. Mike and I both got to play. Mike Nemshoff.
Another Iowa guy. Here we go.
Another Iowa guy. We got Iowa State looking real dangerous here. Ooh. Just outside the 22. They're going to retain ball. It's getting sloppy, though. You can see the footing just falling.
I'll say this too. Iowa State, I think they pride themselves in their pack. I think they think that's where their advantage is going to be in this game is, hard runs like that. They took that maul and they really drove. You heard the crowd getting into it.
There you go. Another sloppy ball.
Oh.
And Adams got a penalty straight out in the center. Will they choose to kick, or are they going to quick tap and go?
I will say, too, it looks like Iowa State, when they're getting the ball, I don't know if they're just trying to force it too much, but a lot of steps sideways.
Yes. And we're not really seeing them get the ball out to their backs. Mm-hmm. They are trying to keep it physical. And maybe that's for later in the game, trying to wear down this Iowa defense. Great run here from the 12.
Look at that platform there.
They've gained another. They're probably 10 meters out now. Another great run. Let's see what they can do with it.
See again,
Ooh,
running
early latch right through that defensive player
and
too.
notice they take these wide pods and then their first 2 steps go sideways. Look at the Iowa defense recycling though. The work rate of
They
that
are
Iowa
getting
defense is
around.
huge. Those guys on the backside are not letting Iowa State have any easy runs.
And
But still,
Iowa State is like
2 meters
doing
away.
Really good stuff here. Like they're wrapping around. They're making it tough on this Iowa defense, but Iowa is responding. Let's see what we got here. Right on the goal line now.
Oh, and that's going to be a try.
Falling over. That was wonderfully done.
That took the entire team. What a huge momentum shift. You can see it on the Iowa State boys right now. Huge momentum shift. That came from everybody. Wow.
That was electric.
That was exciting. We're about halfway through the first half here.
Yep.
Halfway through the first half. 5-7 right now. And again, centered right here. So it should be an easy kick. But again, it's wet. It's a little windy, a little rainy.
We'll see what happens here.
I will say, though, even though
There we go.
kick is good, so it's 7-7 here with about 20 minutes to go in the first half. I will say, even though I was probably not happy that they gave up a score, I really like the work rate of that defense.
I do too.
It's just
very,
Iowa State.
very resilient. Even though they let up that try, they can hang their hat on that pretty good defense there.
Mm-hmm. And you notice, too, when that try was scored, the number 12 had to get in the mix as well from Iowa. So I think that's why we're seeing these wide pods come from the pack of Iowa State to try to force more guys to get in the action, to force some different looks there.
Right, and we'll see if Iowa State remains trying to keep that pack-heavy forward ball, or if they see that Iowa is starting to bring in that back line for defense, and if they start spinning it out.
Mm-hmm. So again, right back to the pack. And again, it just looks like they kind of catch the ball in the pack flat-footed. I wonder if they're doing that a little bit just because it is wet. And then look how wide that is.
Oh, we got a nice kick coming. A little bit mishit. Good distance, but right to the Iowa fullback, who
good
is
step.
electric. Look at him go right into that contact. Iowa's now got the ball about the 22 going in. We'll see what they've got on the offensive side.
Good run. But can Iowa get there quick enough to settle
Retained
that? There
ball.
we go.
Yep, they've still got it there. Ooh, a little high.
And again, looks like he
We
wanted
got
to
an
go.
advantage from Adam, it looks like. Nope.
No.
And Iowa State with a great clearance. Can they get to the ball? Iowa. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one to see. We got penalty to Iowa State, not releasing Iowa.
Wow, the crowd is going nuts.
You can really feel the intensity picking up here. We'll see which team can capitalize on that.
I will say Iowa State, technically a little bit closer. Maybe they have a few more fans, but it's not a hard drive for people from Iowa City to come to. You can see the rain is coming down a little harder right now. It's picking up. The wind's picking up. The rain's picking up. But, man, Iowa State, they can score in bunches. Iowa State really feeds off of momentum. So let's see. I mean, that clearance kick and then just a little fumble on the ground there. Oh, inside.
Tough for Iowa. But, this is what Iowa is built on, that bend don't break. Their offense is made for big, long strikes, so we'll see what they can do here. Ball going out here. Oh, and a great line
Good
by
line.
the 12. Again, hitting those daggers. We're going to see if they spin it wide or not.
What do we got? Ooh, do we have a card
what
coming?
do we have? And we can definitely tell that the conditions are picking up here. You can see the number 8 from Iowa wiping his face a few times. Not sure if that's blood or rain that he's trying to keep out of his eyes. We'll see what we've got here from Adam. Does not look like a card at this time. They are talking about lowering those tackles, though, so that high tackle we're going to have to watch as the game goes on.
Especially, people are going to start losing their footing.
Yep.
And so if you're going to be high, you might catch a shoulder right in the jaw because people are going to lose their footing. So being really intentional about these clean tackles. What a kick.
Yeah, we're right at the 5-meter line here. We're going to see what Iowa State can do to capitalize on this field position.
So, again, if you have any questions or any shout outs, say something in the chat. We'll respond to what we can. Here comes the line out. Good look here. Yeah, they're right at about 4 meters.
We got a nice ball here by Iowa State.
Listen to the crowd.
That's a try, Iowa State. You know that momentum is starting to get them. Those Packies are starting to feel it. Look out. Does this open the floodgates?
It feels like there is a swagger with Iowa State right now. Like they, it's kind of like a boxing match, doing a couple body blows, and now they found what they want to do.
Straight up the gut.
Yep. So this is a chance for the University of Iowa to really respond. How do you respond to this? You give 2 tries up within 5 minutes of each other. And again, that one only came really from, they give up a penalty.
Just a small miscue on the other side of the field.
And then a deep
Iowa
kick.
State deep kick, can't get onto it. Just small miscues are what's changing this game right now. Going to look for Iowa to respond here quickly. I'm sure they'll be kicking deep, trying to take advantage of this little bit of rain in the face to Iowa State. I don't know how much does that actually affect you when you're playing in this game, Mr. Gray. What do you think?
How much the rain affects you? Ooh, wow, what a kick.
Just converted.
I think as a Packy, you just try to work through it. But I do feel like you might, lower your depth or like shorten your depth to really make sure you get that ball. It might slow some of that momentum down when you're trying to run a hard crash line. And then you start to see players, they think twice before an offload. They think twice before maybe going to their weak hand. And so I think little subtle things like that, you feel like you can't force anything. But again, this is the playoffs here, conference championship.
And something I did note there on that last try, the Iowa State offense is looking to latch in their attack. So they're trying to attack that 2-on-1, get that strength and push over so that they have nice, clean ball going forward. And the physical matchup, again, is what we're looking at.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good hard running by the Pack. But Iowa not backing down. You can see the rain is picking up here. And Iowa, they come out with the ball, creating that turnover. Good field position here. Now can they set something up here? Can they take advantage of this, get themselves...
And they look like they're trying to keep those pods wide as well.
Which, again, I wonder, what is that going to look like as this game goes on and the rain picks up? Little chip kick.
Iowa State handles it cleanly, but great defense here. Lots of pressure, gets a kick out by Iowa State. Looks like we're going to be at the 25 or so, maybe 30, with an Iowa line out.
All right, and here we go. Here comes that line out.
How deep they are.
Ooh! Ball's bouncing around a little bit.
Bouncing around like pinball machines.
So that's going to be a scrum to Iowa.
Here we go.
Nice little rainy day here in Des Moines. We got about 10 minutes left in this first half here. Score, Iowa State 14, Iowa 7. This stream is brought to you by the B-Side Boys, a rugby podcast. Check us out every Wednesday, new episodes on Spotify or Apple Podcast. We talked to head coach Ant Frine from Iowa State this past week. You know, they've been playing a lot of the same opponents in playoffs with Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa. Very familiar with each other. This will just add another chapter to the Iowa State rivalry.
There we go, and Iowa getting that ball out cleanly. Ooh, another dagger play, trying to get that ball through the centers, coming back in. Looks like they did retain the ball. Will they spin it out wide? Ooh, he's picked up. Will he put him down? Very great hit there. Ball is loose. Looks like Iowa's on it. What do we got here? Penalty to Iowa State. Again, not releasing by Iowa. That was set up by that awesome defensive play.
That tackle, I mean, he was kind of left out to dry by just giving that ball, and that defender was square up on him. The defender was square up, and good job by the defender not lifting. He brought him down safely, straight back. Did not get those hips over the shoulders, which good job out of him. But the guy who got tackled lets go of the ball.
Let's go of the ball, and it changed everything there for that play. And here we go, another Iowa State line out. Not a great kick for clearance, but it did get out, so that's all that really matters, but didn't get as much field position I'm sure that Ant will be wishing for.
You can see the crowd there, all bundled up.
Oh, no attachment on the maul. Very good play by Iowa.
Ooh, good defense
Ball
there.
is starting to find hands and moving across the field. Great defense, though, like you just said.
Yeah, we were looking for more.
Woo!
Oh, look at that clear out.
There we go. What's happening?
Yeah, we were looking for more of this play from both teams in the back line. The back line, they're adjusting to this weather. They're finding their hands. They're making it work.
Here we go. Our sir is checking with the AR to see if there was any dirty play off the side of that ruck. I could not tell what was going on, but I saw both an Iowa and Iowa State player hit the ground.
It was a clear out, and it was about 12, 15 meters to the side. So
Interesting. Not normally where you see those. We'll see what comes of it.
that's what's really cool about having a crew of 5 referees here. So Adam's going to talk to the captain from Iowa.
I believe that is Landon Simile today, playing the number 8.
Again, another look here at
And
the crowd.
It is quiet. We're all hinged on Adam's words right now.
And then there's Travis Northway.
Former Iowa State player.
He didn't know he was going to be on the stream.
He didn't know he was about to be interviewed. Got a little under 8 minutes left here in the half. Still haven't really gotten much of a decision here. See what's going on with this time off.
And that's the thing. Remember, our time up there, it says 32 minutes have been gone by, but Adam has stopped the clock a few times, so it's a rough estimate. We don't have the exact numbers that he has, but penalty goes to Iowa State. They're going to kick for touch.
No card, though. No card.
I feel like, too, Adam's doing Adam, center referee, he's doing a great job of keeping the game in check, creating that platform for the players to play the best rugby. He doesn't want to give cards out. This game's too important to play with a man down, and he's keeping everyone in check where when there is foul play, he's correcting it. He's giving the penalty, and then he's allowing those captains and players to make the adjustments to play a clean game. I really like how he's calling it right now.
Agreed. And allowing that key to game flow, which it's tough to be a referee sometimes. Yep, not straight. We've got balls going to Iowa here. Where are they going to choose? Looks like we have a scrum to Iowa.
Yeah, lineouts have been tough. Lineouts
have been tough, but that's just the rain, a little bit of wind. We'll see what we've got here on the scrum. Iowa State has looked like they're pushing Iowa back a little bit, but Iowa's still been able to retain that. We'll see if that changes as the game goes on.
So put here by Iowa, right around the 50-meter line. You
see that Iowa State scrum is pushing them back. Can Iowa retain? They do. Oh, they ran the wide ball finally. And that Iowa State defense is ferocious. And on that tackle.
I think that's Marcus Teed. I think he played for Bondurant in high school. playing at wing there. He's been making some huge tackles. Iowa cannot find the space out wide. And look how wide this pack ball is.
There we go, breaking a little line. The crazy thing about that last tackle was that Iowa was still able to retain that ball, so it doesn't look like Iowa State is trying to counter-ruck too hard.
Well, and look here. Iowa State gets the ball.
They're looking to capitalize on the small errors.
Yeah. Using the rain and the wet ball, just like that. Iowa was running some stuff. They didn't sell out on the counter-ruck, and eventually Iowa turns it over.
Straight to the Iowa player. Getting the ball out, but the ball does not find hands. No, we see a little drop, do we call it?
Yep.
Looks like we've got a knock here. Iowa State is going to have a scrum on about the 15 coming in.
And again, this has been the difference, I would say, in the game between Iowa and Iowa State is just that, man, when Iowa has been unlucky, they've been very unlucky in unfortunate spots. And now we have a scrum to Iowa State about 18 meters away from the try line. Just like the last time Iowa State scored, it was because of a misfielded kick. They're on their back foot. Iowa State applied pressure, and then they mauled it in.
And
they drove in the scrum.
Look for Iowa State here to look to latch again, trying to over-strengthen those Iowa Hawkeye defenders. Tell you what, though, I'd be killing to play in this game. This would be so much fun. Even though the weather is not optimal, it feels like a rugby day.
It feels definitely like a rugby day. You love this, especially in November in Iowa. We've played matches in November, and it's been 6 inches of snow, mud, gross. Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Ugh. Ugh. Don't want to be up there this time of year. But no, this is great for these kids. And again, a huge matchup between rivals. And also, too, it's really cool. We're at the Des Moines Clubhouse. Both of these clubs are feeding players into our senior sides. A lot of Iowa State guys are finding their footing at Des Moines at the D2 level. Handful of guys are with the West Des Moines Wombats at the D3 level. Iowa City Ducks, we can see if they're going to be pulling some guys from the University of Iowa. You see guys, when they get a job throughout the state, they're continuing to play. Talent all over the place. You're going to see some guys getting looks at Major League Rugby academies, the Major League Rugby draft from this match. So definitely some cool stuff here.
So we've got 2 errors recently by the Iowa State scrum. Not what you would expect from a seniored group. We'll see what Iowa can do to turn the tables here on this.
And he quick taps. It looked like they were going to kick it, and then they just decided to quick tap. This was huge for Iowa State to mess up here because now
Iowa has possession in the 22. Looks like they're retaining, though. Again, this is playing into Iowa State's game if Iowa doesn't get the ball down the field. They are looking for Iowa to make one mistake in their side of the field. We got a kick. Looks like started in the 22, so straight out. We're going to have an Iowa State line out. But Adam is running it back. And he's bringing it back. Apparently the play might have started outside the 22, so that
and it was brought back in.
Gets brought back. We got a scrum to Iowa State on the 15. Another huge critical error here by the Hawkeyes.
Yeah. You can't give Iowa State this many opportunities inside the 22.
Not a scrum, a line-out.
A line-out, yeah. The last one was a scrum that Iowa State, they did not capitalize on, but now giving Iowa State the ball back inside the 22 with less than 5 minutes to go. Oh, huge steal.
Great steal on the line.
Oh, but it goes into touch, so they're going to get another go.
And a couple meters.
Yeah.
We're in the last minute of the half here. Of course, that's depending on the referee, his time. But we're showing on the 39, so we'll see if Iowa State can capitalize on this field position.
Ooh, looked like they were going to maul, and then they wrap around with a little.
I love it.
I love it. But the University of Iowa was ready. Look at these two-man tackles.
Look at that latch by Iowa State. They are running with determination. And it's just so hard to bring down. It's already tough to bring one-on-one tackles down in the mud. Wow, that was a great tackle on Alex Geiser.
And again, this is how they scored last time.
Quite.
You see the 15.
Yep, we see a bunch of the backs. Look at, we got a lot of space here, right on the goal line, center. Let's see what we get here. Oh,
and that's a try.
The captain, Alex Geiser.
I saw just pushing his teammate over the line, just a shove to his own teammate right in the butt, get him over. That is a tough break.
Play.
Tough break for Iowa right before halftime. But man, they are fighting hard in there. It's just that Iowa State pack. Are they too much as this game gets messy and sloppy, and as people get tired? Just big, thick, hard running boys from Iowa State marching down the field.
And again, the gameplay for Iowa State, their keys to the game were to play in Iowa's half. Iowa was looking to do the same thing. Iowa State's allowing Iowa to make the error and then capitalizing on that error. So at half here, will the coaches try to change up what they're doing? I'm looking to see if Iowa can make that change, because this game is still, it feels like very, very even though we have the small errors here.
Yeah, just a couple of tiny errors where Iowa gives the ball to Iowa State inside their 22. I feel like that's the difference in the game. You can't give Iowa State a short field and let their pack punch you in the mouth.
Their experience will run you over, yes.
All right, so short time here.
Yeah, Iowa State 21, Iowa 7 here at the end of the half.
We will have a short halftime show. We'll talk about our thoughts. We'll take a little break, and then we'll be right back in the action. So let's see this through here.
Great ball in hand action out of Iowa State, making meters where it doesn't look like they have any. Will they choose to kick deep and get another field position win?
Yeah, I don't expect anything fancy here. And yeah, they're just running hard down Iowa, down the middle.
Oh, geez, Iowa State's got numbers, but another handling error. Will Iowa capitalize on the field position now?
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, that's where short time, Iowa State still staying spread.
They could have kicked that ball out.
They could have kicked it deep, or they could even tighten their pods and just been closer. It just felt like they got too spread out.
Iowa with some good hands through, now breaking a little line. A little life here at the end of the half.
They're about 15 meters away from the try line. But they need to get to these offensive rucks quick, because Iowa State is right there looking.
They are, but they're not attacking it with the full team, which tells you that they're still looking for Iowa to make that critical error.
And hear people yelling to get out to the back line here.
That defense is all over them. First time we're getting the ball all the way to the wing.
It's kind of a desperation pass there, though.
It is.
And notice, too, the reason why Iowa State's not committing all these guys to the defensive breakdown.
And there's the error that Iowa State was looking for.
Yep. And Iowa State's able to match them defensively because they're not overcommitting on the defensive ruck. And that's why that error took place.
Correct. Talking to Ant Ryan before the game, he was worried about those outside pieces from Iowa.
All right, so it is halftime with a score of 21-7. Iowa State leads. We have a short little break here. Great stuff so far from both squads. Nico, what are you seeing from both teams here?
Again, the physicality in this game is awesome. This is a tough field to play on today with the conditions. Iowa State is working harder around the breakdown, which is allowing them to get that physicality and push them over the edge when Iowa makes the minor mistakes in their side of the field.
Definitely. And so what would you say if you were Tyler Daly, head coach of Iowa, or you were a captain for Iowa, what change are you looking to make to get your team back into the game for a chance to win? Because like you said, this is a very close game. It's just a matter of a couple of handling errors inside their own defensive 22. That's been the difference. What do you tell the boys?
And that's what I'm reminding them first. Like, it is just a couple of errors here. We're a little too close. So it is just a couple different errors here. I'm reminding them that they're still in this game. We have to use that field position like we talked about at the beginning of the game. It is the difference in this game where you make the errors.
Gotcha. And I think for Iowa State, what would you say to them? I think I'm looking for more, you don't have to do anything crazy. Limit those mistakes, maybe tighten those packs up and just grind it out, because it feels like that momentum with the pack is there. And if they tighten those up, it's going to take, even on those two-man tackles from Iowa, they're still gaining 3-4 meters per carry. Why not just run it out? And you see Iowa has to tighten up the defense. Backline's getting there to help. It'll open up lanes for those centers to run all over the place.
Definitely. And what I would continue that latch play that they're working. Maybe work in a rolling maul.
Yep.
We love those.
Oh,
back
definitely.
Yep. Just a little.
Just a little. Well, and that's where, too, I like the creativity, too, where we've seen multiple Iowa State mauls, and then right there at about 5 meters, they go to look for a maul, and then one of their flankers or locks wraps around, fake maul, pop it to the weak side. Iowa was ready for it, but I like the creativity in space, but it's not too crazy where it's risky.
Yeah. Nope, I agree.
So a lot of rugby to be played, 40 minutes to go. We're going to flip sides for the teams. Again, Iowa State up 21-7, 40 minutes away from a national championship tournament berth, the semifinal here. So we are going to turn it around here. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back into the action. Again, B-Side Boys is presenting this. If you like this stream and you want to help support the show, Venmo at Ryan-Gray-59.
Sorry.
Just, put that plug in there. Get us a better camera. All right, we'll be back soon.
I don't know where they're.
All right, and we are back. That was a quick little halftime here. So again, Iowa State up 21-7. Iowa in the black, Iowa State in the red. The rain has stopped for a little bit. The breeze has slowed down. Just waiting here. Referees are just kind of having a quick little chat. All right, we got boys from all over. We got some guys from the Wombats here. We got guys from Des Moines here. I know I saw some guys from other clubs, but here's the kick. And we're going.
Ooh, great cover. Just missed on that tackle. Look to see Iowa State clear this ball. And there it is, the clearance.
It's like rugby.
I've never seen it before.
As a forward,
Here we go, little chip kick. Oh, right to hands. This is exactly what Iowa needs to get back into this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as a front row player, this is a lot of kicking from my blood, but you know what? It tells you the level of play in collegiate rugby in Iowa.
Iowa State actually tipped that ball. I don't know if Adam caught that.
He did.
He did? Okay, yep.
It's a
So we've
knock-on.
got a knock on.
But again, In 7s, you're going to call that an intentional knock, and it's probably going to be a yellow card. In 15s, I think he was trying to make a play at it, even though it was one-handed. And again, I like that he's not carding him here. You see it sometimes in 15s where they will card somebody for that in 15s. I don't like it because I think he really was making an effort to do a one-handed grab. He just missed. In 7s, it does impede play, so they do card that offense. Not here.
And I fully agree with that. I have never been a fan of giving a yellow for that unless it was clearly intentional.
Like if you see the hand swat it down.
Yes. Oy, and that ball does not go to hands, and he drops it.
And this is the
Critical errors.
the key thing. You said that if Iowa wants to be in this game, limiting those errors, especially right there. You're in the middle of the field. You got to give a clean ball. That's going to be tough. These are the things they got to limit.
And we'll see as this half goes on who has more of those critical errors. That's going to be the difference in this game.
Yep. I do think, too, another thing to look for as this half goes on, which pack gets tired first?
Because I not that I can tell yet, but I haven't seen any subs that have come on. So we'll see if those fresh legs also make a difference in this game.
So you're telling me the referee number 4s have done nothing?
Glad to see you here, Ryan.
I'm just goofing.
Oh, we got this ball wide for Iowa State.
Ooh. Good take by Ian Klein there.
Almost jackaled. That was very good stuff. Alex Geiser taking that ball right over the Iowa defender.
Good hands there. But again, these pack players.
What do we have?
Oh, obstruction. But it's because they're running sideways. They're running
yes.
so. And I don't know if that's intentional to try to spread out this Iowa team, but I'd like to see these pack players from Iowa State run more downhill. Just run that straight line. Because you're hard to tackle.
And it could be because of the conditions. They're trying to get spread. It feels like a cramped game when you're out there playing this. You're not necessarily feeling, I need to spread out. It's just a natural instinct to try to outrun the guys that are right in front of you.
And then that mud just slows you down and you feel like, I still got that step.
You don't.
Well, I never had it.
That's what you relied the dummy on.
If you lean that hard into it, throw a fake dummy pass and cut hard back in.
We'll see if anyone can find a Ryan Gray dummy pass out here today. That might go well.
I'd like to see it. The only reason why I started doing the dummy pass was because I was so not confident in passing. I just pretended like I was going to do it, and I just suck it back in.
Man, I remember back in the day trying to run a line with you, and you just never would pass it. Too many dummies.
And it wasn't because I was trying to
though.
be. It wasn't because I was
worked.
trying to be selfish. It was because I was too scared to create turnover. I was like, I can't let go of the ball.
And it always created a laugh. Here we go, Iowa trying to clear that ball. Again, field position is a huge portion of this game today. Great suffocating defense. We got a charge down. Iowa's retaining the position here.
Wow.
They're past the halfway point. Let's see what they can do to build on this.
And at first, too, I thought, man, this is a good opportunity for the counterattack by Iowa, or by Iowa State. But Iowa smothered Ian Klein and created that turnover there.
Another kick decision here. Where's the ball going to go?
Oh!
Oh, straight to hands. Iowa open. Willie. This could be a big difference here.
Oh, my
Dotting
goodness.
it down on the outside, though. It's going to be a tough follow, but great job by Iowa to finally break open on the outside, using those kicks to their advantage.
That's exactly what you said they needed to do. They needed to do something with these kicks, field position. And we said in the first half, Iowa was so unlucky with so many moments. That was very, just a great idea.
Bounce.
Yeah, great idea, and it just bounced perfectly. And he played that perfectly. He couldn't center it because the inside, the Iowa State guys, there was a couple of guys right here that if he came inside, he would have got lit up. So really good play there by Iowa. But this conversion kick is going to be huge because they could be within one score or two based on this. Most difficult conversion kick of the day coming here.
And again, that is because of the Iowa State defense. Even though they gave up that big play, they still forced that try to be put down in the corner, forcing this kick. Let's see what they've got here. Pretty good kick. He slaughtered it. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This game just notched up in intensity. Let's see if Iowa will continue kicking that ball down the field. Nudge, sir. Nudge. That's what we call that in New Zealand, a great kick.
A nudge is a great kick in New Zealand.
Nudge. Yep.
All right. Good to know. Nico, you spent some time down in New Zealand. How does the game differ from collegiate rugby in Iowa to club rugby in New Zealand?
Well, their college teams are more of a high school league for them. This weather is actually pretty familiar to me over there. We've got a huge wind out there. It looks like a penalty for Iowa State. Way down deep in the 22. We'll see what they can do to capitalize. Going back to what I was talking about in New Zealand, the club teams down there are stacked with multiple different levels of teams, which again builds that depth, builds that camaraderie. A club is kind of like a family there. It's not just men, it's women, it's children, it's seniors. Incredible style to kind of live and be amongst.
Gotcha. So it'd be like if these clubs were underneath the umbrella of a professional team, and it just works its way up where, the United States is so spread out that it's just impossible to do that. And look at this maul here. They're just marching it down off that line out. That pack from Iowa State is like, you know what? We're hungry. We're just going to keep on marching.
Yeah, that kick and chase didn't tire out those packies over here for Iowa State.
Man, they just marched it about 10, 15 meters off that line out. And I want to say they're about 5 meters. No, they're right on the try line.
They're right on that try line.
Yeah, they
Adam bending over, seeing what he can find. We got a try by Iowa State. What a response.
And that's what we're saying. This pack by Iowa State, they are kind of the lifeblood for these guys. They are the driving force. They keep this energy. They keep this momentum. They just neutralized that amazing kick by Iowa and kind of just took the wind out of their sails.
They did, and we'll see again what they can do to respond. I'm sure they'll be trying to kick the ball deep here into field position and try to make Iowa State make errors, which is hard to do with a senior club.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, again, so much experience from this Iowa State side. They've played together. They've played a lot of high-level rugby, multiple appearances in the conference championship, in nationals, in sevens nationals. So this is a team that, they have that confidence and they know how to kind of respond when things get tough. They don't get rattled,
Yes, and that's something we haven't talked about here is some of these guys have the experience of being there, but talking with Ant, it feels like this team is renewed, like they're going to bring that renewed pressure to continue to get there. And Iowa State misses this kick. That could be the opening that Iowa needs.
First missed kick of the day. So now we have a score of Iowa State 26, Iowa 14. About 30 minutes to go in the half. I still don't think we've seen any subs.
I don't think so either. And nobody's lining up. Nobody's getting warm. This could be an 80-minute match for all of them.
Yeah.
Which sounds insane.
There's a few Iowa State guys there kind of warming
right.
up. But that also might be, too. It's really cold out. Really good placement.
And Iowa gets the ball on the kick. Let's see if they capitalize on this field position. Oh, Still's got it.
They
Look out! Oh! We got a knock on here by Iowa State. Great attempt to really break the game open there.
Some of these passes from Iowa, you can tell the wet ball is affecting it because they're really hanging it up there.
They are. There's no crispness to it.
I wonder if that 12, I feel like he's probably been watching these passes like, I'm going to get one of these. And
I'd be licking my chops.
Yeah, just chops. Because some of these have been kind of desperate. Like, we know we got to get it to space, and they're really just floating it up there because they can't get a good spin on that wet ball.
And that could, again, that's affecting the Iowa offense where they're relying on that those clean balls out to the back line. They haven't been able to get that too much other than off the boot. We'll look to see if that changes as this game goes on.
Again, this is brought to you by the B-Side Boys, a rugby podcast. We have a couple of subs coming in here for the University of Iowa. The B-Side Boys, a rugby podcast. New episodes every Wednesday on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Check us out. Like, share, subscribe. We do interviews every single week from high school to college to pro to international to senior side, select side. Anything happening in rugby, we try to talk about it. We have a good time. We have a couple of laughs. You want to be on the show? Send us a message. You have something you want to talk about? Let us know. We just want to connect people. We want to make sure we're talking about rugby. We're sharing stories. That's why we're doing this stream today. This is a match people need to see. We're glad you're here with us.
Iowa taking a big break down the field here. See if they can capitalize. With those fresh legs, they brought on Connor Hutch, who has a boatload of experience for Iowa. I believe he's their president.
Yeah, I was going to say he's their president.
It was interesting to not see him out there. He might be a little bit
banged
up, as we talked about here late in the season. That kind of happens. It's going to hopefully make a difference for them.
Okay, so what an amazing play off of the scrum by Iowa. But when he was going into contact, you could tell he held that ball up kind of high. It looked like he wanted to offload it, but he wasn't confident because, again,
in the skills in the rain, which is it's hard. We haven't seen rain for a month. How do you work on that?
Right. Yeah, this has been the driest
Get the
fall.
sprinklers out?
Yeah, this has been the driest fall we've had in probably a decade, if not more. And, you could tell he slowed up and was holding that ball up near his chest and neck, and Iowa State just swarmed on it. Huge turnover there. Scrum to Iowa State inside the 22. Center referee Adam Falk not happy with something here. He's going to give him a stern talking to.
Those binds must not be good. Again, wet jerseys. How much does that play a factor when you're in that front row?
Makes a big difference. Sorry, I was taking a drink there. I was a little thirsty. It's huge. It's huge, and also there's a lot of gamesmanship in there. You're always trying to not cheat, but you're just trying to find that wiggle room to get that advantage. And you see props. They call it the dark arts, right? People are always messing with each other. So Adam, he's going to create that safe platform for everybody.
You're going to kick it on the left side? Oh, wow. Just gets that ball out.
Oh, no, it stays in? No?
Nope, that bounced out.
I didn't hear a whistle. I was like, what's going on here? But I think Iowa State was trying to be a little cute there. Like, we'll go weak side. They won't see it coming.
Just to kind of give it a look, see if they could make something happen.
That's scary, though. That was about 7 meters away from the try line.
They didn't have much space there. That was very, very interesting. We'll see if they continue to exploit that near side of the field. Got a line out here to Iowa.
Ooh.
Good win. Oh, are we not straight again?
Yeah, you could hear the crowd. The whole crowd kind of made a noise over there. Again, you can see everyone bundled up, seeing some good action today. Good, healthy-looking crowd.
Great mowing lines by the crew. Good job.
Good stuff. This is, one of the nicest pitches, not only in the Midwest, but in the country. Really awesome to have this here so they can have this opportunity to play. This game was supposed to be played down at Kansas City Rugby Football Club, but due to the weather and the fact they were going to play 4 matches on one field, they decided, you know what? We're going to move the Iowa teams up to Iowa. Really glad they did, so we had the opportunity to stream this because they're not streaming any of the matches down there.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was pretty upset about that.
And a big opportunity here for Des Moines to host and for both these Iowa teams to play in their home base.
Right. You get more fans here in person, and we're obviously really excited to share this with everybody as well. Ooh.
Again, that field position, that wing was a little bit too far up. Perfectly kicked. Got the nice bounce on the 22. We got an Iowa line out deep in their own territory. Let's see what happens here.
And I think that's what Coach Antfriend's going to look for is, you know what? We've done what we need to do offensively. Let's challenge Iowa. Pin them deep. You got to make your moves. You got to go the whole field. You got to fight your way down the whole field. They're really challenging them to see, like, all right, I'm going to put my defense against your offense for 80 meters. And now we have 2 subs coming in for Iowa State. Some Packies. Man, those are some thick fellas.
They are some big boys, and they look pretty, I don't want to say white, but clean. Because you can tell that it's starting to get muddy down there.
Yep.
Those new jerseys, especially those white shorts, a little too clean.
You can tell who's fresh legs. Ooh, and a steal by Iowa State. Huge steal. There's a fresh legs running.
Oh, did he drop the ball immediately, or was that a off?
Oh, they keep possession and good running here. Good hard running. You know,
the fullback there.
You create that turnover. Short field, hard running.
That momentum just feels like it's turning again.
I feel like when Iowa State gets that ball inside the 22, everybody turns the turbo on. They use everything. And there's another team try for Iowa State. It took all 15 people to get that try.
It did, and they look good doing it. They're moving right down the field, capitalizing on those errors and field position.
Yeah. Line out to Iowa. Big steal by Iowa State, and it felt like all 15 guys on Iowa State's roster were like, you know what? We're all going to go as hard as we can and punch this in. It's a short field. We have to make the most of it.
And it felt like those fresh legs really made a difference. They're already showing the mud on those shorts.
Oh, yeah.
They ran hard through that Iowa defense.
I mean, that first crash ball was by one of those subs.
Yep.
You know, he came in right away, and he had a hard line, and then that put Iowa on their back foot, and everybody had to recover. I will say, too, stick with us. When this game is final, we are going to run over and try to get a couple of interviews with a few of the players, maybe a coach. We'll see what we can do. We'll run down on the field and see what happens. So, and the kick is good. So with about 22 minutes to go, it's 33-14. Iowa State has the lead.
It does feel like it's getting just a little colder out here. You can see our breath as we speak. Did we get some fresh legs in for Iowa?
Couple new Pack players in there.
Pack players for sure.
Yeah, I don't really have a buy-in for either of my players. My wife graduated from Iowa State.
This ball comes in deep. Great kick. We're going to see Iowa State kick it out. Again, using that field position.
They're 10, Johnson. He is, Ant just speaks so highly of him because he's got a good foot and a really high rugby IQ. You know, I think when that ball goes back, there's just so much trust in his decision-making, and the whole team just knows, like, whatever he decides to do, like, that's the right decision, and people just flow with him. He's doing a great job kind of, you know, leading not only the backs, but also the forwards of like, hey, this is where it's going to be. This is where we're going. So a line out to Iowa here.
And that is something that Iowa State has always brought. They always have a playmaker and high IQ guy at that 10 position to really lead them into that next phase.
And another steal by Iowa State in the line out.
They're really starting to dominate those lineouts.
And that's why I think, too, you trust, hey, we'll kick it into touch because we'll get that ball back.
Ooh, almost a charge down. Good attempt. Let's see. Here we got Wren coming down the right down the big hole. Nope, nothing there. Tries to get the ball to Hutch. That ball's squirting around. They lost about 10 meters there, which is not ideal for Iowa.
But they keep the ball, but losing footing. And I'm trying to, anticipate.
Got a knock on Iowa State here.
If you notice, I'm trying to anticipate where the ball's going to go with the camera, especially as we get further and it's so zoomed in. And, it's just so hard to tell where the ball's going to go because it's so messy and sloppy and slipping around.
Let me tell you, they're running around. I don't think that they really know at this point in time. It's tough. You're not seeing great offensive movement by Iowa. It seems like they're starting to get a little hectic.
Are they in?
Score line might be starting to affect the style of play as well.
You could say we're in the fourth quarter here. Do you feel like Iowa is getting desperate, or they're taking more risks?
It's
unnecessary risks.
Is it though? Because their offense is built around that, where they're electric. As soon as they get that open space, that's what they're looking for. But with this rain, they might have to change up their tactics a little bit. Another great kick. Grubber right through. No wing on the backside.
Oh,
Deep in
mishandled.
Iowa territory, and he dots it down into the try zone. So we're going to have a 22 drop.
Or is it now?
Oh, that's
it's a
off
goal
the
line.
try zone,
It's a
excuse
goal
me,
line
yep.
drop. Whoa. And this is a kick return right off of here. And it goes.
Some steam straight to the 11. Oh,
But he's going to give it to the 10. Kind of fakes the
gives
kick
it
there.
to a prop. And they're just going to steam it down, straight down the center here.
And again, that's just trusting those forward packs, right?
Amen. We do love those forwards. Some great defense here from Iowa, from looks like one of the subs. Those fresh legs are definitely making impacts at this point in time. Does look like we have a knock on here by Iowa State, so we're going to have Iowa ball on a scrum inside their 22 again.
Great patience by the Iowa defense. So not being, frantic on defense. Good stuff out of them.
Definitely. And they've been matching that physicality all game long.
Yeah, I'll say that too. No quit. No quit. Your back's against the wall. Your heels are on that back try line. A goal line drop, essentially, when I look at that sometimes, it's like, you're doing a kickoff. You're kicking it to their back line, essentially, and they have 20 meters to score. Way to hold on tight and make sure that they're not getting in.
That is one of the toughest tackles to make, is when somebody's been running at you for, anything over 10 feet.
Yeah.
Not easy to do. So well done by the Iowa defense there. Let's see what this scrum brings us.
So update for anyone who's following along in the Midwest Rugby. Red River and South Pitt are playing at the same time at the Chicago Blaze Field.
Woo!
It is 12-12. Oh, here goes Iowa. Oh, but he
it's a
couldn't get the
little handling
offload.
error.
Well, they're going to...
Ridgeway gives them an okay. Ball. Oh, we got a ball out of bounds here by Iowa State.
Wow.
That should be an Iowa line out. Wow, that was electric, and that kick by Hutch made the difference there.
And that's what you're looking for. You've been saying it. That's how that's how Iowa wants to make some things happen. That wing on this side, he's been having a good half, but just couldn't get that offload to his teammate.
That was one of the first handling errors you've seen from the wings on Iowa State, because they did get their hands on it after that Iowa offload didn't make it to hands. Still made it back to Iowa ball, though, which is a net gain in all things being said. You gained about 30 meters on that play. And we've got another Iowa State steal on the lineout.
It's like 3 or 4 in a row.
This is starting to be tough to watch here for the lineouts. Unless you're an Iowa State fan, of course. How you feeling, Travis?
Feeling good.
Ooh.
Another handling error.
We go from sideline to sideline there.
Almost straight across. And we've got another Iowa lineout. Let's see if they can figure it out, put things together. But that pack from Iowa State, they're really, really looking good.
Yeah.
That experience is looking like it's paying off.
Yeah, especially late in this game, you can feel that confidence. You can feel that confidence. Young guys, subs are coming in, doing a really great job. I like what I'm seeing out of Iowa State. That confidence, it's just, they're not losing any structure. They're just doing what they do, and they don't even mind that they're having lineouts here near the 22. Mm-hmm. You can feel that they have this sense of confidence 1 through 15.
And there's no give in Iowa here. They're still playing for this.
Oh
game.
my goodness, another steal.
steal.
And it goes right to the hook, and he keeps it in bounds, in touch. And now fresh
Iowa
legs.
State content to run it straight up the gut. Great Iowa defense here.
Oh.
And a steal by Iowa.
Almost like his own rolling maul with Iowa State.
Like he ripped it right out.
So the fresh legs from Iowa State looked like he was going to take it nice. And then he loses that ball in the tackle, looking for Iowa to do something.
Iowa's got set up here. Looks like a straight hands line. We'll see what they've got. Will the forwards push this over?
Ooh.
Wow. A lot of strength there. Oh, straight out of bounds. Oh, we might have a penalty here, though.
And so
Offsides is called by Adam
Wow.
here, so we've got Iowa with the ball. Are they going to quick tap? Woo! Let's get that ball to the big fella here.
oh, there he goes. Oh, and he,
Ripped out by Alex Geiser.
huge play by Iowa State. That's the thing. That was the guy from Iowa who was just running hard. So I don't know if he was tired, but what a play by Iowa State.
Clears it out, and it does find touch.
Wow.
Iowa looking to go quick. And it was touched by somebody out of bounds, so they're not allowed to go quick there.
And that's the thing, too, when you look over here, this Iowa player, this wing, he was all by himself with all this space. Oh, unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Again, those small little errors are starting to add up for Iowa.
I'm getting cold.
Yes.
It's getting so
It
cold.
is getting colder.
We've got about 13 minutes left to go. It feels like it's getting colder as the day's going on. The rain has stopped. The wind has slowed down, but
You can see those Iowa State players on the sideline are starting to get amped. They're starting to feel it.
mm-hmm.
As this time dwindles down. Another Iowa mistake in the lineout.
And that's the thing, too. Like, it wasn't flipped back by Iowa State. Oh, what an
Jeez,
inside
final
run.
roll by the 10.
Going weak.
Oh, great step. He does get caught. Oh, what's he got here?
What a great weak side little run there
And we
by
called
Johnson.
that a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
Were they going to continue to look at those weak sides?
And again, that's their fly half. He's just so smart. That IQ, everyone was so focused on the pack, just hammer it, hammer it, hammer it. Iowa, they get the ball to, it wasn't swatted back in the lineout by Iowa State for the first time in 5 lineouts, but then no one caught it. It goes to ground, and then the fly half from Iowa State decides, you know what? I'm just going to go that inside channel, that 5-meter channel, by himself. Everyone flows to the middle of the field, and he's able to run 40, 50, 60 meters. Do we have a card?
Do we have a card? I believe so. Which, again, not super surprising. It's tough to halt that big momentum that Iowa State had. I'm not sure what the call was, but looks like Iowa's going to be playing down a man here. Not going to be easy to turn this around. What are you looking for here as a front rower
For Iowa State?
for Iowa State?
Well,
More of the same.
that. I mean,
Trying to get in the mind of Ryan Gray here, but Iowa State too quick, scores almost right under the post.
well, and I would say, too, you have a penalty that close to the try line. Obviously, you're thinking as a front row person, we're going to hammer this. We can do this in the pack. Everyone tightens up, but you have to realize, too, I've got some loose forwards. I have some centers that if I can get the defense to key on me and commit 2 or 3 tacklers on me, a tight 5 player, it's going to open up a gap for a loose forward. And that's what they did there. That's how they got that score, was they got one of their running forwards in there. I think it was their 8-man or 6.
It did look like a back rower regardless.
So, and that's the thing. You want them to see that latch on with the tight 5. Oh, they're coming in tight. They're going to try to bowl us over. They tighten things up, and then you find someone to run that gap. Boom. Kick is good. Iowa State 40, Iowa 14. About 10 minutes to go in this match. Nico, your thoughts?
Well, we're starting to creep in on that same scoreline that we had earlier this year. Iowa hasn't given up. Again, it's small errors that have opened this game up. Those lineouts are not crisp right now in the elements. It's Iowa State's looking good with their experience here.
Those errors are compounding on top of each other, and then Iowa State's making the most of them.
Absolutely.
That's what I would say.
And a kick doesn't go exactly how he wants it.
But a weird bounce, but Iowa State still gets it. Kind of weird. No one from Iowa really
No
went for
counter
that.
rucks here. That's very
Mishandled.
great pop pass there. Man, Geiser has really, really impressed me today. I know that's hard to say as a guy that's 2-time reigning conference
and
player.
It shouldn't
of the
surprise
league.
you. I mean,
But man, he's been and we kick straight to the wing, who's been making plays. But he's been my player of the match, I think.
Alex
he's
Geiser?
making the difference everywhere you look.
and I think from a physicality standpoint, really easy to see that. But I really think too, for me, number 10,
That 10 definitely made a few
Johnson.
plays.
Johnson from Iowa State.
And I think that's off the back of Geiser, though.
Right.
Because they're keying in on those forward plays, but you see Geiser playing offense, you see him playing defense.
Yeah.
This guy's all over the field.
I just like the. Ooh, a
Huck's
charge
trying
down.
to get another kick. He might get onto that himself. Ooh, and that could be diving on.
What I was gonna say
I'm
though.
just gonna let him play.
What I was gonna say though about. Sorry, there's a little extracurricular stuff from
I
Iowa
don't
and
think there
Iowa
was
State.
anything dirty there. They're just slow getting up.
They're just slow getting
It's
up.
the elements. We're late in the game.
Things feel like they're unraveling, but back to my point, I really like how the
There
number
is a
10 for Iowa State, even though there might not be, the big tackles, but right here, just calm, cool, and collected.
Finding space right over the top, the Iowa defense, those should be going to hand, and just those bounces on that grass are making a difference.
And that's where it's like, he's pinning them deep, and then Alex Geisert and company are going to do the work.
Yes, sir.
That's where I think it's hand in hand, where you could have
No, it's great to have.
two player of the games where number 10 is controlling the territory of this entire match, and then Geiser is leading the troops in the pack.
Using his skill. Ooh. And woo! We've got a penalty here to Iowa. I'm not sure what the call was.
Sounds like, too, if you're following along for the D3 Midwest Championship, South Pitt takes the lead over Red River 20-12.
Red River's a pretty good team.
15 minutes left in that match.
We'll see if they can pull that back together.
Any other scores from the Midwest? Is there any? You seen anything else? Nope. Yeah. Lamont, Illinois, home of the Chicago Blaze. All the Midwest from D4 men, D3 men, D2 men and women, D3 women festival, D2 men, D1 men and women, all taking place today over in Lamont, Illinois. So, in Division 2 for the men, the Chicago Blaze defeat the other team 34-30. I think it was the Indianapolis Impalas.
I think that might be true.
The Indianapolis Impalas, who won the Midwest last year, so the Blaze defeat the Impalas 34-30. Huge matchup. Really good, close matches this year in D2. I did not expect the Blaze to come out the Midwest champion. I thought Palmer was going to have a good shot out of Davenport, Iowa. I thought the Impalas were going to be another favorite. And then in the D4, the Impalas defeated Lincoln Park D4 31-24. So the Impalas don't go home empty-handed. Their D4 side ends up winning. Here goes Iowa quick.
From Iowa off of a penalty. Oh, you can tell, you can see that they're just slipping, and that pass goes errant. Iowa State's got the ball on midfield. Iowa not attacking that ruck. And another kick here by the 10.
And again, pin them deep.
Pins them deep. No chase here by Iowa State, but
Yeah.
still get that field position.
Sorry. Again, thank you to our friend from the West Des Moines Wombats, Tom. Tom was getting us the scores from the Midwest, Tom Corbett, first-year player.
And a wonderful man.
Wonderful man. Busted his head open in one of our matches against the Iowa City Ducks, but he's back. He's doing good. Looking good.
Looks better than me.
Deep kick by Iowa. Urema, you want to come on? Nope. All right.
Here's Iowa State looking to exploit that field position again. Right down the throat of Iowa defense.
Yeah, and I think here, too, if you're Iowa State,
Ooh, we got a complete slip and a foot from Iowa. Good skill.
yeah, I think if I'm Iowa State here, just getting pods of 3 or 4.
I'd probably be pushing it to 4, really slowing down the game. We've got, 5 minutes left or so.
But no, number 10, he takes
Instead-
it himself.
Yeah, don't worry.
And that was a great little bucket pass.
Right off his hip.
But again, look at him. And there he goes again.
Oh, he thought about kicking.
Oh, there's a dummy. There's a dummy.
dummy.
Ian Klein, great dummy.
He must have been watching your film.
There's no film from back then.
I'm glad.
All right, it's getting messy. Adam's going to bring it back over here. It looks like he has a penalty.
To Iowa State, yep, must have had an advantage. You can tell these Iowa Hawkeyes are starting to hang their heads a little bit. A lot of pressure from Iowa State. They're going to go ahead and kick for goal on this penalty. Being dead center, looks like about 20 out.
About 4 minutes to go in this match. Again, a great day of rugby here. Can't ask for better weather in November because at least it's not colder. At least it's not windier. It's a little rainy, but great turnout from both clubs. Iowa State fans, Iowa fans here at the Des Moines Rugby Fields, the Des Moines Rugby Clubhouse. Thank you for hosting. Again, this is brought to you by the B-Side Boys, a rugby podcast. You can check us out. New episodes every Wednesday on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We've got interviews. We've got fun banter. You can join the show if you want. Follow us on social media. A low kick, and it's good. Right over the bar.
So 43-14. Iowa State really putting it on here.
So unless something super crazy happens, this is going to mean Iowa State is the Heart of America champions. Iowa will finish 2, which great finish for them. I think this is the first time Iowa has been in the conference championship because it's always either Kansas or Kansas State. Because normally it's like the champion of the South, but the fact that Iowa defeated the South champion Kansas State gets them here. Love to see both Iowa clubs competing for that spot. Number 10 here, he's going to just do some territory stuff, kill some clock.
Great kick again.
Going to line out here.
That was from the 22 all the way down to the half field, all the way across the field too.
Calm, cool, and composed. Like
he's been that way all game, like you said.
Yeah, I'm going to go. He's my player of the game for Iowa State. And so that is Justin Johnson. Number 10 is my player of the game. Just really controlling the game with his foot and just that cool confidence. Who do you have as your player of the game?
I got to go with Alex Geiser. You know, we were talking about it earlier. The man's been all over the field. Offense, defense, really leading that pack. Ooh, we've got a full time from USA Rugby over Portugal, 21-17. Man, I wish our international correspondent were here.
He might be at home watching that game right now. Wow, great piece of offense by Iowa State. But yeah, USA with maybe their toughest test match this November. They have 3 test matches. We thought Portugal, Eric Nichols, our international correspondent, thought Portugal would be the toughest match on this tour. We get the win. USA defeats Portugal 21-17.
And a much-needed win. It feels like we've been slipping a little bit lately. It's nice to finally get on that W chain.
Yes, and to build off of this, too. This is a huge one. Some new guys in new positions as we're trying to get ready for that next World Cup cycle. And I was going to say, too, Nico, do you want to talk about the guys from Iowa and Iowa State just real quickly? Let's give a shout-out to both guys from Iowa and Iowa State who made the all-conference team for the Heart of America. You know, shout out to these boys because, again, great season from Iowa State, great season from Iowa. This will be the end of the fall for both clubs.
Yeah, we've got from Iowa State, Clayton Beckman. We got Nolan Lebrec, Eli McGuffin, Alex Geiser, Zach English, Gabe Arredondo, Justin Johnson, Braden Miller, Marcus Teed, and Ian Klein. From the Hawkeyes, Jackson Edmonds, Kane Zemo, Landon Simile, AJ Douglas, and Brenheimer. Man, this all-conference team is littered with Iowa products.
16. You could make a top 15, and the first sub could come from these two squads.
That would be fun. I would love to see these two teams.
Ooh, another dummy! And they find some space.
Is that Simile? Oh, a great fend.
Oh!
So close. It was not Simile.
Oh, man, what a great piece of rugby. And I know Iowa wants
and that was fresh legs off the bench, so that's cool to see. A good piece coming forward maybe in the future for the Hawkeyes.
Oh, yeah, and I know Iowa, they want to end on a high note here. That was a great piece of rugby, just some unfortunate handling there. Oh, man, tough break there. So Iowa State will go to the CRAA D1AA National Tournament, and that will be played in the spring, probably in April or May, probably May. More than likely, they're going to see Sam Houston State again. They're going to face the winner, I believe, of the Lone Star Conference. Sam Houston State is the favorite, but we could always see some other clubs from that Texas, Oklahoma area step up. But Sam Houston State is my favorite because I see them post stuff on social media. They care a lot, and they're winning a lot of their games.
And I was here the last time that they played Iowa State, and that was a phenomenal match. I would not mind seeing that rematch.
Oh, no. Great coaching staff, great people down there. They had some young guys that are going to come back and really be leaders for that club. So I would expect them again. I really hope that match takes place here in Des Moines again so we could bring that to you and stream that again. We're very short on time here. This is going to be wrapping up here shortly.
Iowa State taking the scrum, weak side, 8-man pick. Just trying to keep that ball in the forwards, it looks like. Oh, and they didn't know the ball was coming to them.
And I think they know time is short.
Let's see if Iowa can cap this game off with a nice try here.
Yeah, end on a positive note here, you know?
Yes. To Iowa. Would love to see Iowa punch one in to end their season.
End on a high note.
End on a high note. Ooh.
So South Pitt is still up in the D3 match, 20-17 with 5 minutes to go over in Lamont.
Big try from
Huge.
the Ruffians, though.
Huge matchup. Again, the Red River Ruffians were the team that made the National Final Four in men's D3 last year. They defeated the Wombats in playoffs. This year, they defeated the Bremer County Bucks. What a tackle by Iowa State.
Not strong enough into the contact there.
Iowa State is not going to just give an easy try to end this match.
You never would, and you never would.
And that's why this is a team that competes at a national level. Too much pride. I love what Iowa's building. I love what Tyler Daly is building there. This is going to be a rivalry for years to come, playing for playoff opportunities. You know, we're 3 minutes past the 40-minute mark.
And these guys are still working hard.
Mm-hmm. I love what we have here in Iowa with all of our college programs. Someone should look up the UNI rugby score. See if you can find the University of Northern Iowa. See if we can update our fans with that.
Ooh, great defense, high pressure.
Hutch trying to get in there.
Do they swing it out wide? Nope, they're going back to the pack. The defense is ready.
Oh, he looks to be alone.
Man, you can hear these sidelines just yelling, helping out that defense, letting them know when that ball's out. We got a pick and go all around the neck.
You can see they are 2 meters away from this try zone.
Everyone is within 10 meters of each other.
Oh,
Will they push it in? Oh! Double mover try.
He calls it. He calls it a try.
Calls his own number. Great move by the Iowa Hawkeyes. Straight through the teeth of the defense. Again, a great way to cap this game and season for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
No quitting those guys. AR Andrew Ridgway going to his position.
He looks too clean.
The AR? I hope so. He's the head coach of the West Des Moines Wombats, and he's down there with Jeff McHenry as our ARs. Great officiated match today. I feel like it was a very good platform. We didn't see anything crazy. Teams kept their tempers in check.
Yep.
Like, it was a very physical game, but no one got heated. No one did anything like ridiculous or crazy.
Minus that one ruck. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
We don't know what happened.
We don't know what happened there, but yeah.
They fell in the mud.
For this being such a high-level match, good stuff out of everybody. Really, really, just two class programs.
Agreed. And class job refereeing there by Adam Falk.
Mm-hmm. So a great season by the University of Iowa. They're going to finish number 2 in the Heart of America. Congratulations to Iowa State for winning the Heart of America Conference Championship.
And he did not want him to have those points. We got a charge down attempt.
All right.
Game is over.
That is the game. Iowa State celebration begins now. Iowa State 43, Iowa 19. All right, let's see if we can get an interview here with the head coach of Iowa State. We'll be right back. Stick with us. All right, so here we are on the field. The boys are shaking it up.
Right on. Oh, you're good, man. My apologies. And I was on the shot and it flipped so quickly.
I yell at one person, I never have to yell at anybody else. So I appreciate it. Let me, yeah. What's up, dude?
Great job.
Oh man, there were some things that I think we could take away from the Wombats.
Right, hey, we're here with assistant referee Andrew Ridgway. Just get your quick reaction before we talk to head coach Hamp Fry. So, huge matchup between Iowa and Iowa State. Did you feel any pressure out there?
Well, Adam certainly holds us to a really high standard, but I think with him in charge, no, I felt good about it. I knew my role. I felt it was fine.
Yeah, I felt like you guys had a really great platform. You let the boys play. Whenever something happened, it's like you brought it back to, some crazy stuff on the sidelines. What is that communication like having mic'd up? What's that like compared to other times?
Yeah, it's pretty cool being able to get Adam's back on the things that he knows that he's not able to see. Like, for example, if he's on the weak side of a scrum, I can say, hey, that loose head prop's yanking the whole thing down and causing a safety issue. So really, it's cool to be able to keep the game safer and have these little doohickeys to communicate that in there.
Yeah, really cool to see and just to see that communication. And yeah, just a really great day of rugby. Final thoughts on this match? I mean, really cool to see two top-level Iowa programs competing for nationals here at the Des Moines Fields. What does this mean for rugby in Iowa?
Yeah, I thought that to see these two teams, like the two big rivals in the state, playing such a close game. I mean, like, really, it was nose and nose until half. Iowa scored first. Obviously, they did a great job controlling the field position, but then just I feel like the set pieces from Iowa State really took it away. So
down on the field, I mean, how physical was this match? I mean, that pack from Iowa State just seems like they took over.
Those props love to hit. Like, I would be afraid to go against those guys. So yeah, and I'm a grown man.
He's a dad.
Hey, awesome job today.
Yeah,
we'll see you around. Thanks for doing that. So Nico, as we're here, we're waiting as they're having their little post-game talk. What were your thoughts from today? Final takeaway.
Iowa State's impressive. They got some really good players. They're excited going forward. Iowa looked really good too. They made me proud as a Hawkeye. It was a lot of fun though.
Let's get it.
It's a little crazy down here on the field. We got kids out, which is awesome to see.
We're doing team photos. Team photos.
So we will continue to walk around.
We'll get this. We'll get this interview.
Yeah. Many interviews could we have here?
Yeah. Probably losing our view count as we go, but we're gonna. I want to get Coach Hamp Friends. Want to get his thoughts. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we're live. Hey, you want to be on real quick? You want to talk about the match? We got Jordan Sanderson here. Iowa State alumni, Des Moines Rugby, BVP. What were your takeaways from the game?
The boys fought hard for the whole 80 minutes. especially on that last stand. They went through 7, 8, 9 phases, and it's hard, especially when you have a game kind of sealed and you know time's expiring. It's hard to make the stand, so I'm excited for the boys. I think they're putting in a lot of hard work, and I'm excited to see how they shape out after the winter.
Yeah. Who would you say your player of the game was?
Justin, JJ, he's always, it's when you have someone that can kick like that, it's hard to defend, set up, do, so they kind of struggled on coming back down the field. Zach English, I think he played 8-man. I think he might have been in a little bit of a different position, so it's cool to have someone younger like that step up.
Yeah.
And overall, I mean, they were ticking, so they were getting it done.
I also picked number 10, JJ, because just the territory, forcing Iowa to work. Nico here, he took Alex Geiser just because, man, what a force. Like that, like you pin them deep, and then the forwards were able to put the work in, and that's what really felt like separated it. But, like, take a look at this. Iowa and Iowa State taking a picture here. All the people here on the Des Moines grounds and Urema. Yeah, Jordan, thank you for your input. This is awesome day of rugby in November. Love to have some playoff rugby here in Iowa this late in the year.
I'm not cold, you're cold.
I'm cold. All right, we are going to look for head coach Ant Frine for probably the last 7 people that are still on the stream.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate you. We love you.
I'm probably taking photos. We might be able to pull Tyler Daly too.
Yeah. If you see Daly.
Yep, I got him straight ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Pull him over here if you can. You recruiting for the Wombats?
No, not today.
Oh.
Just here to watch. Just a spectator.
That was a good match. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, it was great. Both teams really showed out. Gorgeous day out here. A little bit wet, but, you know, it's a great day of rugby.
Yeah, for sure. No, and it's so cool to see this many people doing this, so love it. Good to see you out here, man.
Yeah, of course.
We got Coach Tyler Daly here of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Kind of chilly out here.
Hi.
They're beautiful right up here. Give us your thoughts here. Tough way to finish the season. Look good though. I'm pretty proud of the boys, so you have to be brimming.
Yeah, super proud. Sorry, I'm really cold. So, super proud of the guys. We had a ton of underclassmen that stepped up this year. Graduated 6, 7 seniors last year. All forwards with a lot of experience. So it was really cool to see all of the underclassmen that stepped up this year. And really, obviously, the score doesn't represent how well they played. There was just some minor errors that happened during the match that led to, Iowa State was capitalizing on them. That's all it really was. Told the boys before the match, it was all about who stays patient for 80 minutes. And, the most patient team won today. So,
any words for Iowa State as they head forward?
Iowa State, go get it, boys. It's awesome to have 4 institutions in the state of Iowa right now that have rugby programs. So it's amazing to see. Iowa State obviously has a history of success, and they're doing really well. Their ranking obviously shows as it did today. So I hope they go out and get one this year.
Speaking of Iowa, though, this is your first time in the conference championship for the Heart of America?
As a coach, yes. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the history on where the team's been before me, but
we were in the Big Ten before.
Big Ten.
Yeah, and before that, it was the Midwest West with you and Iowa State. So I think this is the first time in the conference championship for the Heart of America. There's a lot of stuff to build here. Really proud and excited to see what you guys have. I know the match just ended, but ideas, vibes going into the offseason, looking ahead to next year?
I'm ready for 7s, baby. We're going to have a good 7 squad this season. Ready to just kind of decompress, relax a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been a rough 2-3 weeks, so ready to get some sleep. And then I'll think about what we're going to do next year. But I'm really excited. I've got, a couple freshmen, just to name them, Easton Taylor, Sam Zimmerman, Josh Bell. We've got a few other guys that really stepped up this year. They're all freshmen. They were all out here starting today. So I'm super excited for the future of this program.
Awesome. Well, hey, Daly, congratulations on a great season. Keep up the great stuff. We love what you guys are doing here, and excited to see what happens next.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Go
man.
Hawks.
Hawks, thanks.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right. Now we're here with head coach Ant Frine of Iowa State Rugby. Ant, coming off, is it third Heart of America championship in a row? Instant reaction.
Boys played hard. We knew what Iowa was going to do today. They came out and did it. And, hats off to our boys. They executed on what we knew we needed to do. They got the win.
First score of the game, University of Iowa. They come out firing. They score first, down 7-0. What was the message to the players after that?
We'd been there before. When we played them the first time, it was a similar start to the game, similar result there. The guys, they knew that we weren't going to win this game 0-0. They shook it off, got into our system, and executed.
How do you keep them focused for a full 80 minutes? We talked about on the stream the team that commits the fewer minor mistakes, like in territory, handling. We knew the ball was going to be wet. How do you keep them focused and locked in for 80 minutes? Because you could feel things like chip away throughout. How does that happen? Does it come through your leaders on the field? Does it come through a game plan? Does it adjust on the fly? Where does it come from?
I think a lot of it is not competing what's on that board. It's competing with ourselves to try to get better every phase, every practice. That's something we've really drilled in this year. So, we're down 7-0. We're up pissed, we're down 7-0. We're trying to get to our best ball. And that's what they focus on. So the other stuff doesn't matter.
Right. And huge game out of your number 10, Justin Johnson. His territory was amazing, kicking all over the place. And then in the pack, Alex Geisert, he was Nico's player of the game, just because you could just feel his hard runs. Moving ahead into the spring, how are you going to work through these guys to continue this high level of play? Because you have, 4 or 5 months until the next round of playoffs?
I think the big thing is, you saw it with AJ today. I've been saying he's the best player in D1AA for a couple of years. And, today was one of his better showings there. But I think that mentality he's brought to it for 4.5 years has really matriculated down to the young guys. And that, they know what they have to do this winter, and now it's just about doing it. Those late nights in the weight room, late nights with strength and conditioning, late nights of practice, they know what's ahead of them, and they're excited for it.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, enjoy this win. Enjoy the offseason, decompress a little bit, and then get back into the lab, get back to work, and hopefully we'll see you. You guys hosted here for playoffs? We'll see. Well, hey, we're going to be watching. Congrats. Enjoy it, man.
Appreciate it.
See you around.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's going to be the end of our stream. Thank you for joining us. We'll clip all these interviews and everything. Again, brought to you by the B-Side Boys, a rugby podcast. Check us out, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on every Wednesday, new episode. I'm Mr. Gray, Nico Fleece. Thank you for joining. We are out.